Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Zimbabwe politics is confusion. It's amazing. The country launched this new currency, the ZiG, with much fanfare on Friday, the 5th of April, and announced that their old Zimbabwe dollar will be phased out in the next 3 weeks. And then the next thing we hear is that they do not have the new coins or notes to start circulating until they will not have them until the 30th of April. Benjamin, what do you think of that one?
Hi, good evening to you and to our viewers. Thank you for joining us. Well, I mean, this is they're never short of tactics and foolishness, actually, if I may say. I mean, here you are. I mean, I want to draw to the aspect to say, before you do all these things, you have to win the confidence of people. All right, these are the consumers that are going to be using the product that that you're giving them right now, right? And then already before you even begin, you have a false start. I mean, this just shows something is amiss somewhere. It's just they never cease to surprise. This is just foolishness for me.
I mean, I think what is really shocking here is how difficult was it for them to have found out, okay, even if they'd ordered the new coins and the new paper money for it, for them to find out what the delivery dates were. So that by the time they launched, they would have said the new currency will be in circulation on such and such a date, and not make the announcement, giving people the impression that the new currency will start circulating, and even giving an end date by which you must hand over all your old coins and paper money in 3 weeks' time. Only to find when the 3 weeks are up, none of the new currency will be actually available for circulating. So the whole thing, you say to yourself, how difficult was that for you as the officials when you launched it? The new Reserve Bank manager, the governor rather of the Zimbabwe, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, he surely would have got his team together, those who are responsible for procuring the new coins and the paper money and so forth, and find out from them when is the expected delivery, before he made the announcement. And it goes to show here is a case where the right hand is doing one thing, it doesn't even know what the left hand is doing. I think this is really a bad start, to say the very least.
I agree with you. I mean, this is a false start for sure. But I honestly believe, some things are not thought through properly. I think the main reason behind this whole change of currency or reprinting, this currency is just to save face, because the zeros were getting out of hand. That is the principal reason behind all this. There's nothing more. That is my opinion. And they were so much in a rush, because I mean we were going and going. I mean one is to going to almost 1:45,000, and they had to do something about it. And that was the main drive, and they forgot the rest. And you are right to say, I mean, this just shows the foolishness of the ones that are in leadership. How can you say you're getting rid of the coin, the current notes, starting from tomorrow, and renaming accounts of something that hasn't even come through yet. I mean, what if you haven't seen? What if they print it all wrong? Then what are you going to do? I mean, we've seen this. It wouldn't be the first time to see this happening. So, I mean, sometimes you fail to understand, okay, what was the rush for? Why didn't you just wait until the 30th, until they start circulating? Then you can just make an easy transition. It's foolishness for me.
Yes, indeed, foolishness. I think the other point that must be mentioned here is that this new currency, this ZiG, is supposed to be tied to the gold reserves that the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe holds and the foreign currency that it has. And that is supposed to be its main feature so that it can keep its value. But I don't think even from the word go, anyone would believe that is possible. The country has produced a budget already, and you can see from the budget allocation from that, although it was given in the old currency, if you use the present translation, which is about 2,400 and something, all of the old Zimbabwe dollar to the one ZiG, it will mean we do not have enough gold reserve in the vaults to justify the amount of ZiG that have got to be used to meet that budget. So already, you can see the two things are not matching. And so it is clear that, of course, if you've got more ZiG than what is in the vaults, we are only going to fuel inflation. And inflation already is at over 2,000%. And without it coming down, the ZiG will start losing its value. And in no time, we'll be back where we are. And like you correctly said, the changing of the currency seems to be one of the real excuses behind it. Is one, how can we drop some of the many zeros without saying so? So we'll be looking at the ZiG will start losing its value. At the present moment, it's about 17 ZiGs to a $1. But I think before June, that would have changed, if not doubled, or even 10 times. And by the end of the year, much, much worse, if the present rate of inflation is not contained. So I think it is a sorry state of affairs, really. I think this failure to even make sure that there's enough money of the new currency circulating goes only to show that this is a regime that really does not know what it's doing.
Yes, I agree, and I think they're just further denting their chances of this ZiG surviving, the onslaught for a long time. It's already a bad start to it, and I mean, social media obviously has taken their position to it, and no, the acceptance is not looking very good, if I may say, with a lot of people showing that they have absolutely no confidence in it. And if these guys were serious, this would have been something that is serious to take into consideration, that they try and launch this as efficient and as flawless as possible. Now, we all know, given their track record, there are people that don't really think things through, and hence we are in a state where until the 30th of April, there will be no money in circulation in terms of any Zim Zim dollar, whether it was the previous or this new one. So I guess it's just going to be foreign currency until then. I don't know. It's quite a big mess.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, that is the unfortunate reality. I think, to be quite honest, from the word go, many people with any brain at all would have said this is just an excuse for changing the name of the currency and dropping a few zeros. But I think what one has got to emphasize is once again, how long are Zimbabweans going to tolerate this kia economic management? The nation is already in serious economic trouble because of the 44 years of ZANU-PF misrule. How long are we going to allow this to continue? That is the question that I would want to close this program with.
I agree with you. That's a very good and sound question. I mean, we've been through this road before. It's not as if it's the beginning, from bearers to bonds to all that. It's just a big mess, and it's a big vicious cycle that we keep repeating each and every other time. It has to be stopped at some point, because I mean, just the predecessor, which is the RTGS, was backed up by almost the same amount that is backing up this ZiG. So really, it's no different environment. It's same conditions, same environment, same people. I wouldn't think, it will be a miracle or bolt from the blues to say all of a sudden is this going to work. I think it's just going to be doomed. In a couple of months, we'll be back to exactly where we are. It's over. The ZiG is overvalued right now just because we took off the zeros, and it's just going to bolt from here. Unfortunately, we're not doing anything about it. That is the sad part. We as the people are supposed to come together and say enough is enough to this whole nonsense. And we cannot be taken for a ride every single time and keep calm. This is not right. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Benjamin, and to the listeners, good night. And wow, what can I say about this thing? I mean, if they can't even organize when to launch it, when the currency is going to be available, I think in many ways is to be expected. This is a chaotic regime, and as long as we have uh, the regime that's able to rig elections and stay in power, will be stuck with this kind of kia management or running of our national affairs. And we as a people will pay dearly for it, because there is a punishment for failing to do things right. And what we are seeing now is part of that punishment. The economic meltdown for the whole country, and we are sinking just deeper and deeper into the mess. 49% of our people are living in abject poverty, and the situation is only getting worse. Thank you again very much, Benjamin, and to the listeners, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And you can join us at 7 p.m. Zimbabwe UK time, or 9 p.m. UK time, or 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. Zimbabwe time. Every evening, we will try to stick to those timetables. Thank you very much again, Benjamin, and good night.
Thank you. Good night.